Well, folks, here again for the weekly forecast. Of course, the big news was the significant rain event that occurred over western Nebraska, particularly from southwest up to north central Nebraska, where we had numerous reports, anywhere from 2 upwards of 7 inches of moisture, but broad-based we were looking at 3 to 4 inches common in a wide swath, essentially McCook northward through the Valentine area. And this amounts to essentially a full month's worth of precipitation over a 36-hour period, not including the precipitation that fell prior to this event. So when we look at June precipitation, we have a good majority of the state that's already broken our normal June precipitation, and we have areas up north, east of Valentine, northwest of Ainsworth, that we're pushing 6.5 to 7 inches for the month. So very welcome moisture. We'd like to see a break, at least get some initial drying done for those that are trying to harvest their hay. But it looks like we're going to have to deal with at least a couple more precipitation events before we may get into a drier pattern. So let's take a look at the upper air models and see what we have going on. And the one thing I'll draw your attention to is that we do have some energy in the southwest that's going to push toward our region, and that's going to drag a cold front from the Dakotas through the state. So we should start to see a semblance of precipitation breaking out in the northwestern part of the state, although it looks to be very spotty. As it gets further eastward, it's going to draw into more significant moisture, and we do have the ability to generate thunderstorm activity this evening. And more importantly, as we go into tomorrow, we'll notice that there is a piece of energy that slides just to the south of Nebraska, and that should bring a good area of scattered thunderstorm activity to south central Nebraska and southeast Nebraska. And as you move up toward the northwest, much lower totals. Then we get a slight break as we get into Monday. There's another piece of energy that's going to slide through as this trough tries to deepen. That looks like it's going to bring that thunderstorm activity into our region Monday afternoon, Monday evening, and carry it on into Tuesday. More importantly, it looks for it to be more in eastern Nebraska. Western Nebraska is going to be closer to this ridge, so we're not going to see much in the way of significant moisture. Now, as we go into Tuesday, we'll draw some colder air down into our region. The main activity moves to the eastern Corn Belt, so we should get some drying and possibly start to see some warmer temperatures. The ridge tries to build in, but another weak disturbance moves through Wednesday evening that might give some isolated shower activity to southeast, south central Nebraska. But more importantly, we start to see ridging patterns starting to develop on Thursday, and it starts to continue on into Friday. So much warmer conditions with all the moisture that's fallen to the south of us. If we start to see these temperatures rising up in the upper 80s, low 90s, it's going to be very sticky, very humid, and it could potentially pose some problems in terms of cattle, especially our feedlots, where heat indices have caused problems in the past. So let's take a look at the numbers. We're looking at cooler conditions in the northwest, some warmer conditions in the southeast, scattered thunderstorms off and on, mainly across eastern Nebraska. Then we start to see a gradual warming trend toward the end of next week with isolated thunderstorm development possible. As we look at the 8 to 14-day forecast, the Climate Prediction Center is indicating for next Thursday to the following Tuesday below normal temperatures, and also looking at above normal precipitation to our east. The numerical models that I'm looking at show well above normal temperatures we get from next Thursday to the following Tuesday.